In the fall of 2025, Buckingham Palace is still a symbol of permanence and grandeur, with marble walls and gilded halls that are meant to make it look stable. But within, the air is thick with worry. The monarchy has been through a lot, like the abdication crisis of Edward VIII, the turmoil of Diana's death, and the delicate succession following Queen Elizabeth II. Now, its biggest challenge isn't from rebellion or foreign invasion, but from its own blood. King Charles III, who was once a symbol of strength when he seized the throne at the end of his life, is now weak. His movements are slower, his public appearances are short, his talks are shorter, and each performance is planned to take only a few minutes instead of hours. When people are alone at Clarence House, the whispers become plans. Advisors sit at polished tables, their speech serene, but their gaze sharp. They talk about change and getting the monarchy ready for a new era. And of course, the Prince of Wales comes up. Prince William sits quietly, hands clenched, and stares at a Persian carpet as if the complicated design could take away his mounting worry. There are small lies in the room, like false smiles, eyes that look away, and voices that concur in words but not in spirit. King Charles's silence at the head of the table hurts more than any insult. He sits there thin, holding a gold pen in his hands and without saying anything while his son looks to him for recognition. William feels the rejection like a knife. He has waited his whole life for the job he was meant to do, but his father's lack of faith makes it harder for him to go to the throne. He doesn't want to push Charles away. He only wants his father's trust, but all he finds are walls and quiet. Catherine, who has been quiet during these scenes, gives him a nod as he starts to lose his energy. Later, in the calm of Kensington Palace, she tells him that being silent can be deadly. People will think he is weak if he doesn't speak. What she says hits home. William is unsure, but Camilla is ready to go. For years, she has been by Charles's side, putting up with whispers and quietly making friends. She now knows for sure that her power would go away if William becomes king. She won't let the meticulous placement she's done for decades become useless. She starts to develop a scheme that will keep her in charge even as Charles gets weaker. In a private meeting, she tells a small number of loyalists that Britain needs stability and that someone who is neutral and not involved in family fights should act as regent while Charles is away. Hugo Shand, her nephew, is the person she chose. He is not well known in public but is completely loyal to her. The proposal is surprising, even frightening, but her confidence fills the room. When the story gets out, the country pulls back. The headlines in the morning papers are all about a young outsider being chosen over the Prince of Wales. People are angry on social media, in coffee shops, and in pubs. Who is this Hugo Shand? Why not William? Not only is the omission embarrassing, but it also makes it clear to everyone that William is not involved. Catherine watches her husband read the news. His knuckles are white and his face is pale. She tells him that Camilla is playing a cruel game and is counting on him to be calm. He wants to talk to his father. Father and son fight in words they can't keep back in front of a blazing fire in Windsor Castle. William wants to know why he isn't included and why Hugo Shand is mentioned, but the Prince of Wales is not. Charles, tired but still strong, warns him that he is too modern, too sensitive, and too close to the public to realize how serious the crown is. William says that he is holding on to power at the expense of the stability of the monarchy. Their shouts get louder, like a storm that has been brewing for years. Finally, Charles, shaking with rage, tells his son not to challenge him because he could lose his place in line. William, on the other hand, does not back down. He informs his father clearly that if he doesn't stand down with dignity, the Privy Council will utilize the Regency Act because of his health. The words hit like a final blow. William is quiet, yet firm in his actions. He brings together those who recall Queen Elizabeth II's reign and her strong sense of duty. He talks to Princess Anne, his aunt, who he both respects and is afraid of. She has always been devoted to the institution, not to feelings. She wants to know what he really wants. Power for spite or for the kingdom? William answers with steadfast conviction, not for himself, but for the kingdom. She trusts him and vows to help him, which is a big turning point. Soon, Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, and other friends silently stand by him. William also listens to Catherine and turns outward toward the people. His trips to schools, hospitals, and neighborhoods show that he is not conspiring behind closed doors, but is instead accepting his job as a public servant. People greet him warmly, the press calls him the future, and polls show a shocking truth. People trust William more than the king. Charles makes a short broadcast to say that he is competent to reign when he senses threat. His face is pale and he stutters when he talks, yet his pride is still strong. But the performance doesn't convince anyone. Rumors about his disappearance and Camilla's growing shadow make every word less important. And suddenly, the strike that takes away Camilla's authority comes. A picture gets out. Camilla, with a stone face, signing a political document in Charles's name without getting permission from Parliament. This picture is impossible to explain away. It is a sign of overreach that makes people angry. Commentators say it is a historic breach of the Constitution and a return to hazardous manipulation. The anger can't be stopped in a few days. 78% of Britons want William to take control right now, according to polls. In a flash, all of Camilla's years of silent planning are gone. Hugo Chand quits in shame and fades into obscurity. Her friends leave, her power fades, and the lady who used to mold the monarchy from the shadows is now helpless and hated by the whole country. In an unusual step, the Privy Council signs a petition asking Charles to face the truth. 12 signatures, including Anne's, come to his desk like wounds that cut into his power. Charles analyzes them alone in Clarence House, his hands shaking. He realizes that he is alone, even among the people he cares about most. He speaks to the whole country that night. There is no crown, throne, or majesty. He stands in front of a Union Jack wearing a basic black suit. He says that because of his health, he had to give the Prince of Wales royal authority until a decision is made. It's not abdication, but everyone knows it's the end of his rule. Prince William comes forward the next morning at St. George's Chapel, where the sky is clear. He doesn't wear a crown or sit on a throne. Instead, he stands erect in a navy suit in front of an audience whose eyes shine with hope. His voice, warm yet forceful, rings through the old stone. He is not there to take the place of a king. He is there to keep the monarchy going, and it must belong to the people. The crowd is quiet for a moment, and then they start to clap. Bells ring all around Windsor, and their sound travels through TV screens to homes, pubs, and schools all over Britain. Catherine watches with tears in her eyes. Anne lets out a rare smile, and Sophie and Elizabeth II's faithful courtiers watch with reverence. Charles watches in silence from Clarence House. His son, whom he didn't trust and tried to keep away from, is now the country's chosen leader. He has tears in his eyes, but not because of anger. He thinks back on the years he spent wanting the crown, the mistakes he made by holding on too tightly, and the blind trust he put in Camilla's plans. He turns off the TV, leaving himself alone in the dark with only the sound of his heart beating. London sparkles brightly in the brilliant light outside. This is the start of a new era. William, the Prince of Wales, is a symbol of a modern monarchy that is based on the trust of the people, not only on ceremonial matters. His rise to power was bloodless, but it was full of the sorrows of a father, a son, and a kingdom that had to face itself. The crown has changed, but it hasn't fallen. Now the question is whether William can lead it into the future while combining duty with change and tradition with the needs of a restless population. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.